Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Something a little bit different I suppose this time. First of all, you're seeing me, something you've probably not seen before. I'm always behind the computer, but I wanted to try and do something a little bit different to what I normally do. This channel was supposed to be my, I don't know, my vlog channel I suppose, what I was doing, my interests. It was supposed to be gaming, supposed to be allotments, it was supposed to be DIY, things like that. And really all you've seen is gaming. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on, I suppose, my experience in the last couple of weeks. So I have been looking for an allotment. As you may know or you may not know, I've had an allotment before. About 2 years ago, I had an allotment. Very successful. I took it from a field and turned it into an allotment essentially. There was, I think, 10 plots down there, and I had one of those plots. Very nearly took on 2 plots. Got a shed up there, converted that, put a polytunnel, grew all my tomatoes and my cucumbers in the polytunnel. I put raised beds in everywhere. As I say, very successful, very enjoyable. I loved it. It did take a lot of my time, as allotments do. You know, they're not something for the faint-hearted. They do zap a lot of your time and your energy. It's not just a case of going down there when you're free and having a little tinker around. You've got to really commit to them and keep on top of the weeds. Constantly think of what you need to sow ready for the seasons when they're coming up and so on. I ended up giving it up in the end because we ended up moving away from the area, and I've been itching, I suppose, to get another allotment and start again where we are now. So I've been looking. I found one that's in my village where I live, and I contacted the committee that owned it. They told me they had 2 plots available. So I went up and had a look at one at the weekend. It's been very well looked after. There's no weeds in it whatsoever. There's no buildings or structures allowed. There's no water on site, but it is a locked site, so security isn't too much of an issue. And I felt really positive about it. I come away coming up with all these plans and ideas of what I could do. And I then went back up there again one afternoon, just see it a different time of day, see if anyone was around, kind of get a feel for the site and decide, what I wanted to do with it. This time when I went up there, one of the other plot holders was there, and I found out that he'd actually got 4 out of the, I believe there was 8 plots on there. So out of the 8 plots available, he owned 4 of those plots. And I was chatting away to him, and had a nice chat. He was a nice enough man. He kind of put me off, I suppose. Maybe that was his intention or not. I don't know. But he put me off somewhat. He told me that greens never grow up there. You'll only ever grow root crops because the wildlife eats everything else. He was in the process of turning one of the plots completely over to potatoes. Another plot he'd got had got a polytunnel on, which he grew all these tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and things like that in. And then later on in the year, he'd have another plot dedicated to pumpkins, ready for Halloween. And I just come away from the site thinking very much that I don't know, it didn't feel right for me. I felt, I had my idea of I'd cover the plot. I wanted to put a weed membrane down on a lot of it so it was manageable. I can only get up there in lunch breaks and the odd weekend. It isn't something that I can spend hours upon hours up there. I've not retired. I still got a full-time job. I still need to maintain my normal life. And when I suggested to this other plot holder about covering the plot, he looked at me like I had 2 heads and said, I don't see a need to do that. And you know. And I don't know, I kind of come away from it feeling very deflated and very much like I possibly it wasn't right for me. So after a couple of chats with family and you know, weighing it up in my head, what the best thing to do was, I've notified them now and told them that I won't be taking that plot. It's not to say I'm not going to have an allotment again, because you know I want one. It's something that I enjoyed doing. I feel that I have enough time to put into one. You know, and I've got what I've got growing in my own house. You know, I've got a conservatory. I've got a greenhouse in the back garden, which, you know, we're coming up to that time of year now where that's starting to kick off. We've got peppers going in there at the moment. We've got potatoes going. Our early potatoes are in. I've got some few bedding plants that have all been, you know, seeded, ready for the summer to get the garden looking nice. I've got some onions, got the garlic going. Got quite a few things going, and obviously a lot more to get going. I haven't really got the room in the garden, which is obviously why I wanted an allotment. But you know, we'll see how it goes. My plans at the moment are possibly on hold, but it's not to say that I'm not going to go down that route. It's still something I'm very passionate about, something I still want to do. But I just felt that I wanted to share my experience with you guys, let you know where I'm at, where I want to go, and you know, take any advice that you've got to offer. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're new around here, the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.